morning, guys. Happy Thursday. God damn it. Dude, I'm struggling this week getting those days right. It's getting those crazy times where it kind of all starts blurring together. It really does. It's really getting fun out there. It is. But funny enough, a friend of mine tweeted this morning. I didn't get a chance to reply or anything, but replied that like, interesting, the vibes out there are bearish, and I don't feel that. Do you? I don't feel it at all. Are you guys feeling bearish vibes out there in any way, shape, form, anything? I'll tell you, in the market, yes. In the NFT market especially, yes. We've talked about that. We'll certainly talk about it today. Crypto market's cooking. Sentiment, my goodness, feels great out there. And I hope we'll see some good examples of why here today. Of course, we're going to hit the macro crypto market, NFTs, top headlines. Smash the like, guys. Make sure you subscribe here to SlamX Official over on YouTube. It's SlamXIO over on X. And maybe you're already updated. Maybe. We dropped another video this morning. I hope you're digging them. They're a lot of fun to make, but I'm still perfecting that craft. It's early in those, but they're a lot of fun. I definitely messed up the morning's episode. It's back out there. It's worth a listen at the very least to check out what kind of crazy ass AI song we got today. It's a cool one. Good morning, Cosmos. Good morning, Cats. Oh, dude, hang on. Let me get back to that. Mike, good morning. Yeah, I mean, Cosmos, yeah, it's the ETH NFT people, yes. Yeah. Although it's funny there, too. I feel like people are still cautiously optimistic. And also, you gotta admit here, the ETH NFT people are the Solana people now. They are. And they're the ordinals collectors. It's all the same now, and that changed over the bear market last year. People just spread out. People really had to spread out to, have any hopes at any kind of gains. They had to. It's all the same people. It's interesting. Yeah, I feel the opposite. I feel incredibly bullish sentiment. It's like Henry said on the afternoon show yesterday. The afternoon show yesterday, he just said in the circles he runs in, he's finally ready to say we're back, right? So, man, we're certainly back. Again, guys, smash the like, share the show. Let's get into it, starting with a new battle of the most adorable, literally the most adorable animals on this planet who just so happen to have some meme coins backing them now. Who backs who? Do the meme coins back the animals, or the animals back the tokens? I don't know, but either way, we all know moodeng. I love that little girl. But now we got Pesto the penguin. Dude, it's getting really cute out there, and there's a battle for the ages. It's PvP, but it also feels a little like, there's a new term, PPP. I don't know if that's this. I don't know what that means still. This feels like a good old, just a good old time in the community. Love to see it. We're going to talk about these tokens here when we get to the end of our headlines and updates, but keep your eyes out on these meme coins. It's just getting started, and I have very, very high expectations for moodeng, so we'll talk about that here in a moment. Kamala, pro-crypto. We've heard it, at least from her campaign, from her team, but now we're hearing it from Kamala directly. It's great to hear, by the way. Let's hear from her own words, finally, talking about crypto, NFTs. Much more than that, too.
So I will recommit the nation to global leadership in the sectors that will define the next century. We will invest in biomanufacturing and aerospace, remain dominant in AI and quantum computing, blockchain, and other emerging technologies.
Okay, they're words until they're more than words. As of right now, they're just words. And that's all we're getting from Donald Trump as well. So I'm happy to hear this, and I'll buy it until she proves otherwise. That said, guys, the SEC is still in full attack mode. Although this was misreported at first, and it wasn't the SEC, it was a U.S. judge declaring that these green box miners are securities, and used some SEC previous statements, rules, guidance, whatever, as backing for their declaration here. And these actually were securities. The way they work, you're not just buying a mining rig and mining. You're literally investing in a company who is mining. It is different. Those are securities. But make no mistake, the SEC still does not like us. They do not want us around. They don't. And we can at least say Gary Gensler does not. We want him out. Everybody wants him out. You know who wants him, though? Guys, Mark Cuban wants to be the head of the SEC. And I might not be Yeah, I was going to say I might not be the biggest Cuban fan. I think that's fair to say, although I like the guy. I respect the guy a lot. A lot. I would love to see him at the head of the SEC. I can't think of anybody who's maybe more perfect for it. I like it. I like it. Mark Cuban, head of the SEC. I really hope to make that. I hope that's how it plays out. I hope that is exactly what happens here. It's almost like he is to Kamala what Elon Musk is to Trump. Really interesting stuff happening here in this cycle. And look, no matter who is at the head of the SEC, the growth, it's not going to stop, guys. It's not. You cannot stop what's coming here. And the building is just happening right in front of us, and it's very, very exciting, guys. PayPal now allows businesses to hold, buy, sell crypto, Bitcoin, stable coins. They're everywhere in stable coins now. A little to say on stable coins here still. But this is just another great story we're seeing about the building that's happening here. It's happening live. It's happening right in front of us, guys. So much so that Van Eck is saying here, and I love this prediction, but Solana reaches just 50% of Ethereum's market cap. You're looking at $350 Solana. And that seems like a given. At least to me, it seems like a given. So maybe I start adding to that Solana bag, and probably should have been all along. I hope you guys have been. It's probably smart, not financial advice, but very bullish on Solana right there with Van Eck. Guys, as of now, over 1 million addresses hold one full Bitcoin. Man, damn near an all-time high, by the way. Again, a great sign of what's ahead of us now. And it is a great sign that adoption, it's growing. More people are getting into crypto. Your average person, let's say myself, who's in crypto, is more focused than ever at stacking Bitcoin. Another great sign. It's maybe a health indicator for the crypto ecosystem here. Now, stablecoins, I'll mention again in just a brief comment, but Ethana, we'll call it that, launching a new stablecoin here. It's backed by BlackRock, Buildle, whatever. You know I suck with names, but whatever. Are we about to see an influx of stablecoins? I kind of think so, and I think there were probably already plans for this. Right, I would assume there were already plans for this, but it was reported just a couple months ago that Tether's made $4 or $5 billion this year with a staff of under 100. I think it's even less than that. I think it's a minuscule staff with those kind of profits. Everybody wants to get into the stablecoin game now. And I think that's exactly what we're going to see is an influx of stablecoins. And remember, this might have just been hinted at. Maybe it's me reading between the lines, but I'm pretty darn sure that the Trump platform, World Liberty, is going to introduce a stablecoin. I would probably make a significant bet on that. If we're on Polymarket, I think that's coming. So just keep an eye out there. Stablecoins, you're going to have a lot more options soon. And actually, I'll just say, I think one day most of us will have our own stablecoin. It might sound silly, but I always believe we'll all have our own cryptos. Probably makes sense that they're stablecoins, but we'll see exactly how that goes. Taking a look at the crypto market this morning, looking fantastic here. Bitcoin over 64K, ETH back over 2,600. Solana still hanging up there over $150. Love to see it. Market looking really, really solid right now. Still waiting for that catalyst that really pushes us towards those new all-time highs, and I think it's coming. I think it's that FTX stimmy that's on its way, and that's not far off. I think that may even start next month. Remember, almost $16 billion making it into the hands of creditors. People who lost money with FTX, getting some back, some. And what are they going to do with that? Well, I have a hunch. Some of that $16 billion is coming right back to crypto. Can't wait. Looking at the Bitcoin ETFs yesterday, 105 million in inflows. A decent day, but the Ethereum side is what has my attention. 43 million in inflows. It's not an astronomical number, but guys, you watch this right along with me. We're normally seeing outflows in the ETH ETFs, and when we see inflows, it's usually a couple million. 5 million to me, would normally stand out. But 2 days ago, 62 million, and then yesterday, 43 million. Maybe we've rounded a corner there. Maybe. Not convinced of that yet. But awesome to see the adoption that's happening through those ETFs, guys. BlackRock, so far in 2024, has purchased $23 billion worth of Bitcoin for the ETF. Doesn't mean that's what they're holding. I don't think that's what it means. I think that just means how much they've bought, and they have to sell it throughout, too, as people sell. Hang on. I think I misread that, guys. I don't think that's their ETF, is it? That is BlackRock accumulating Giga bullish, guys. Giga bullish. Oh, shit. My bad, guys. Hang on. Sorry about that. And appreciate the heads up. Dude, there's a checklist I got to go through before starting the show, and I completely forgot mic levels. It like automatically adjusts every day. Yeah, fuck. I'm sorry, dudes. Oh, I'm really sorry about that. That was probably brutal. Okay. Better now? I bet that was clipping and all distorted. Shit. Okay, let me know if that's better before I continue. Dude, bad audio is one of the biggest turnoffs for anything. It's like a subconscious thing. If you hear something with bad audio, it makes you think quality is like garbage. Okay, cool. Dude, thank you. Appreciate the heads up there. I'm really sorry about that, guys. It's probably hard to listen to, so thank you. Damn, that sucks. It doesn't matter if you set the level. Windows auto-adjusts it throughout the day. I don't know why, but all right, cool. Man, that's a bummer. Anyway, we continue on. A lot of Bitcoin being scooped up by BlackRock. Incredible to see. Looking at the NFT market, like I said, I feel the bullish vibes out there. People are saying it's bearish. Yeah, you would think that, especially if you're looking at sales. Again, at the NFT market. Just 10.8 million in cross-chain sales yesterday. Unique sellers pulling back. Unique buyers also down. Same with total transactions. So again, if you look at the market, it certainly seems down. It really, really does. Now, trade profits we saw yesterday started the day in the positive, which does not happen much. Didn't finish positive, but only 67,000 in the negative. And you look back through, let's just say, the past few days, past few weeks, man, just 67,000 in the negative is kind of an achievement. It kind of is. All things considered, a pretty great day for profits yesterday. That's probably just one NFT sale that put it in the negative. Let's say a big old CryptoPunk sale that sold at a loss, maybe a couple, and that's it. So if we're starting around this corner and traders are seeing profits, look out. When volume comes back, so do big gains. I'm excited for that. All right, looking at who's moving the market, and I'm going to put a couple of disclaimers here. In fact, we'll skip the first two, and I'll explain why. So I'm going to give Guild of Guardian Heroes the number one spot today. That's followed by the CryptoPunks, Dozuki, Sorare, Pudgy Penguins, SMB, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Runestone's cooking. Man, I'm excited about that too. I have a few, haven't sold any. I take that back. I think I've sold one along the way. And we're going to push Mad Lads and NBA Top Shot. Oh my goodness. I missed a big drop. Oh my goodness. I'm bummed. Pushing them into the top 10. There was a big WNBA pack drop. I think that was yesterday. And if it wasn't yesterday, it was Tuesday. And I completely forgot, man. I didn't know if there was a new Caitlin Clark moment in there. And if so, I'm probably going to go grab it on secondary. But love to see Top Shot back in the top 10. I'm going to peek at that in a moment. I do want to see if that was what was selling over there. But love to see that, guys. Now, why don't I count Autoglyphs as number one? 1.7 million in sales, right? And if I look at top sales, it's all Autoglyphs in the top 10, all the way out to the top 12. Reason being, and again, this goes to people who tune in regularly, often when we look at these, they're not sales, they're actually loans over on Gandhi. So I did a little digging this morning to find out if that's what this was or if this was somebody like refinancing a loan, and I can't find anything out quite yet. I'm not great at navigating the platform, but I just didn't see anybody breaking down what was happening on X. So I don't know if this was a whole fleet of loans, like brand new loans, or, well, actually, hang on, here's something interesting, guys. This might be somebody taking out loans and then refinancing right away because we're seeing the same piece multiple times. Yeah, really, really interesting. Okay, hang on. Let's find a couple examples here. 343, 12 hours ago. Well, let's start with 14 hours ago. And then 12 hours ago right here. Taking a loss on that too. So if that's refinancing, I'm not sure what happened. And actually, maybe one is a sale and the other's taking out a loan on it. It could be that. I do want to check real quick here because you don't see this every day. In fact, I've never seen this before. Oh, I have an idea here. This might not be a sale at all or a loan. Again, I'm going to have somebody dig into this. This could be that a bunch of autoglyphs were transferred somewhere along with ETH, part of like a bundle. And sometimes that can get categorized as a sale because on chain it looks like a sale. But they all interact with Gandhi, so there's certainly something there. I would love to dig into that. But just a heads up, and that again is why I gave that disclaimer at the start. Don't count autoglyphs at number one as truly the number one collection. Something else is happening there. So Interesting stuff. I like finding just different things in the market on chain. It's fun. Not just sales. There's all kinds of cool stuff happening. Still, though, guys, big sales in art. I would say we probably throttled back in the past few days. I haven't seen any monster sales like we had been seeing. The Lost Robbie that sold last week, 300 ETH X copy sales. I think that's about to cook, though. Still, we are seeing X copy sales. They don't stop, in fact. But Irola selling for 16 ETH. That's a cool piece, too. I had never seen this before a few days ago when these started moving. I love it. I love it. X copy's got all these hidden gems that I didn't know existed, and just such cool work. I love it. Now, while NFTs really aren't moving, they're really not. We do have a lot of updates. Oh man, almost across the board throughout the biggest collection. Pudgy Penguins. This is really cool. Pudgy Penguins partnering with a La Liga soccer team. It's CD Castellone. We'll go with that. But Pudgy Penguins and Little Pudgies are going to be featured on their jerseys. And I believe there's an NFT mint going on right now on Magic Eden. And you buy an NFT for the chance to have your Pudgy featured on their jersey, which is incredible. So I peeked at that mint. In fact, we'll find it right here. 0.008 ETH. I peeked real quick. This might have been on Base. I don't remember the blockchain, although ETH would make sense. Yeah, there you go. I think this is super cool. Hang on, let's see. 7 holders of this. Oh, you have to have a Pudgy Penguin and this open edition selected to have their penguin featured on the jersey. Guys, this is so smart. This reminds me kind of like the Doodles are doing. You give exclusive access perks, whatever, to your holders. You still got to make them pay for things, right? You can't cut off your revenue from your holders just because they have to hold the asset. Make it affordable, though, and give them the opportunity from playing both sides of that. Have the asset, spend for the opportunity. Really smart, and it is the way that you can make NFTs sustainable. As we've tried to figure out what's the business model. Royalties ain't it. So what can you do to actually make money in this space still? You do stuff like this, $22. Right? They're not going to raise a fortune here, but they keep money coming in. This is really, really smart. Lucanets gets it. I love this. In fact, I think there needs to be a lot more talk about this. This is the right way to do it. And again, just like Doodles. Just like the Doodles. I love it. I love it. Man, we're heading in a great place. Now, yesterday, we also had a Bored Ape update. This was a stealth update. Or at least for me it was. I hadn't heard of this, but the Bored Apes, of course with Improbable, who's the tech behind the Other Side Metaverse, had a partnership with Major League Baseball to allow you to wear your ape in a virtual game. This is incredible. They did this last year too. In fact, they may have done this for the past 2 to 3 years. I love it. You can go watch a game virtually. Is it live or is it a replay? That I'm not sure, but check this out. There's better footage here, and we'll actually circle back to this too. It looked really cool. I'll tell you this. Fuck it. I'm going to save my thoughts till we come back. I have some thoughts. But I am curious again if it was live or if this is a game that already happened and they rebroadcast it, they virtualize it. I have a lot of thoughts on this. And by the way, I would love to get Improbable M Squared on the show. I'm going to reach out to them. I love this. As a gamer, like a lifelong nerd, this blows my mind. It really does. Okay, moving on. Magic Eden pushed an update to the platform. This is a big one. I call this potentially the OpenSea killer. Right? It's not the token. They already got that. But I still use OpenSea damn near every day. I go there to look at my wallets. I go there just to browse. I like it. I still like OpenSea. But I always wondered what would happen when Magic Eden updates their user interface. They make that a nicer presentation to view your wallet. All your NFTs. I think they nailed it. And if not nailing it yet, they're at least deep onto that path. It's incredible. So what they put together here is a new profile page, and it's highly customizable. And because it's Magic Eden, it's cross-chain. So really cool. Really nice, clean way to browse through your NFTs, but you can also create groups and showcase. You can make your own, mini galleries. It's really, really cool. I like it. GG's to Magic Eden. These guys and girls crushing it. There's nothing they can't do, and there's nothing they've done that hasn't come out and been excellent. So a big fan of this. I already linked some wallets. I'm starting to play around here. As far as I saw, you can only create those showcases, they're called, with Base and Polygon. It shows ETH, but it doesn't allow you to do stuff yet. And maybe I need to play a little more. But it's really cool. Highly recommend getting on there and trying that out. It's really neat. Bodagos with an update yesterday, too, partnering with UNFK Earth. Unfuck Earth. I like it. I remember this game earlier in the summer. Or at least their website launching. Well, they've now partnered up in a game of theirs. Whatever, it's cool. I just like seeing people build. So also GG's to Bodagos. Kind of staying in games, though, guys. Flappy Birds. It's a pretty big game. It's a pretty damn big game. Is going to be including Web3 features into their game. Optional, by the way. They specifically said no NFTs, but crypto, yes. I'll emphasize again, optional. People still hate this out in the gaming world. So if that ain't your thing, you don't have to do it. But look, if you can make a few bucks, and we know when things get silly, you make more than a few bucks, I think people are going to eat this up. Look for games like this to be that Trojan horse, right? We all think games are going to be what bring the masses in. I still debate. I'm not sure. I guess it makes sense. I'm just not sure it's going to happen the way we think. But get a game like this that dangles it in front of people, just teases them. People see their buddies playing who did enable the crypto integration, and they made $10. Maybe one day they got lucky, made $100. And then, oh my God, I don't know this person, but they made $5,000 yesterday. What? And then they get in. That to me is how I see it playing out. Probably going to happen too. Probably going to happen. Hey, you guys know Seed Phrase. Owner of the iconic 7-trait CryptoPunk, the rarest CryptoPunk in the entire collection. Well, man, he's dropped a new collection yesterday. This is actually incredible. I will pull this up because I love it. Seed Phrase is a character. I love it. He's a character. When I think of Seed Phrase, I think luxury kind of goods items. He's kind of known for being a DJ too, but I think of luxury brands with him for whatever reason. I do now, and this is right in line with that. So Seed Phrase through merch. They're dropping generative hoodies. Now, I want a better view because of the images that are here on Christie's, and yeah, they're on Christie's. Oh, there we go. Okay, I didn't switch tabs. Generative hoodies, guys. Like, come on. We love our hoodies. We love our NFT crypto wearables. I'm rocking my Genkai 90cc hoodie right now. Every day I'm wearing some kind of Web3 merch. I would eat this up. Generative hoodies? Somebody, man, if any artists are watching, somebody please go on FX Hash. They've got that redemption system that they baked in last year. Somebody please make a redeemable generative hoodie, please. Tell me that wouldn't cook. And if nobody here wants to do that themselves, if you're interested in figuring that out together, guys, let's do it. I'm down. I think this is a brilliant idea. Brilliant. I think there's going to be some NFT tech embedded here somehow, some way, even if it's like a COA or something. But this is really smart. I think, oh my God, I shouldn't even talk about this live. I think that is a huge idea here. If any of us dropped a 100 edition generative hoodie collection, maybe they're really expensive to make, but man, if somebody did that, I think you got to sell out. Generative is in, let's say, the logos, the partner projects. Go find CCO projects, but the logo you get is randomized. The colors are randomized. Maybe you get an ugly hoodie. That would kind of suck, but maybe you get the Grail hoodie. It's a, CryptoPunk hoodie colored as one. You get a CryptoPunk logo. The image matches. Everything's in line. Kind of cool. But even if you get a mix, no bickering. But even if you get a mix, you get a Bored Ape and you get a CryptoPunk and you get a Doodle and you get a Bodago and it's all mixed, that would look kind of cool too. It's like you repping everything. This is awesome. Anyway, let me move on from this, but really, really cool. I like Seed Phrase. It's a really cool product. I dig it. I really, really dig it. Crypto Undeads, you guys remember them? Well, they're not Crypto Undeads anymore. They're just Undeads. So a rebranding, does that bring life back to the collection? Maybe. And when we get to the end, we're going to peek at floor prices. I'm curious their floor price. But it looks like I think they're bringing some merch, which is great. So rebranding, maybe a marketing team here, and some merch. I dig it. I think they'll actually cook this season too. You got a lot of ETH whales that are in this collection. You do. So I think there'll be some manipulation is not the right word, but I do think there's a lot of people who really want to see these do well. So I think they'll do well. Blast dropped a couple updates on us last night, introducing a global deposit layer. TLDR here, guys. You can deposit money on the Blast ecosystem from any exchange. So basically, you've got your ETH address from any exchange, send your ETH to that address, and it shows up in Blast. This actually, do you remember let's say 2 to 3 weeks ago, we saw some quotes from Vitalik saying at some point here in the near future, your balance on ETH is going to carry over to all the L2s. Like, you guys don't need to stress about, it being so fractured when your balance is the same in all places. That seems to be what this is. If it's not part of the same thing, it works the same way. But I do think it's that. I think whatever that tech is, whatever that upgrade is, I think we're seeing it play out live, and it's awesome. It's awesome. That liquidity, wherever you're holding it, applies everywhere. Now, I don't know if it has to be on ETH and if that's the hub, or if you have maybe money that you bridge to Blast already, if that reflects on the ETH side, and if you can spend it on the ETH side. I'm not sure. Which is cool. Oh, hang on. Mike, are you talking about the seed phrase hoodie, or is this something else? Either way, I love it, dude. I'm gonna reach out to people and see if somebody wants to do a generative hoodie collection. I think there's something there. I really do. Anyway, if one of you wants to beat me to the punch, feel free. Just hey, you know what? If one of you wants to do it, loop me in. I would love to be part of that. What else we got? Okay, this is not necessarily an update other than more than it's just a GG. Fantasy, who is killing it. I don't call them Fantasy Top anymore, by the way. I think they're just called Fantasy. But making these really interesting partnerships. We saw this week the Fantasy and was it Moon? It's a meme coin game now. You're betting on these meme coin social media accounts and how they perform. I love it. They'd previously partnered with Predict.fun, and people love it. Man, product market fit. I'm not going to keep beating a dead horse here, but I have said all along that I think Fantasy Top has got something. A lot of people thought it's a fad. I never saw it as a fad because people like the game. And all that matters if you have enough people that likes the game that you keep it rewarding enough and you keep it realistic enough to keep them hooked. Keep feeding them. And it can't just be a little amount. It has to be enough that it's worth their time. And there's got to be a carrot at that end of the stick where they think they can hit that home run. And they've cracked that code. They got that game in a really nice sweet spot where the core base is still playing. They're still active. They're still buying packs. And all that's going to happen is another update's going to come from them. Who knows what or when, but another update's going to come, and it's going to get us normies back in there. So I can't wait. Bang, do we have a pond update? Because I've not seen anything. I saw Polly's video yesterday. Polly's account banned again, which is stupid. But yeah, the pond dex mining's still not live as far as I've seen, and I haven't checked in probably 2 days, but I've not seen anybody saying that we're live and mining yet. So, dude, that's how tech works. I'm not mad at the team. Tech is super challenging to hit deadlines. It's not easy. So they can take as much time as they need. I just hope, because a lot of us paid for the pro version. I hope they don't make us pay again and that they honor the month or whatever we paid for. Yeah, I won't be happy if I got to pay another month, but yeah, we'll see. And man, just putting this in front of you guys so you, man, remember that really good stuff's coming here. There's a lot of conviction out there, and there's a lot when we talk sentiment, vibes, whatever. This is how bullish people are. Look on chain pointing out the largest holder of WIF borrowed $2 million. $2 million USDC to buy more WIF. That's the kind of conviction here. Man, a guy like that is not doing it unless he's got great conviction that the worst is absolutely over and that we're headed towards something really, really special here. And that's how I feel. I think a lot of us also on the same page, but that's conviction. That's not bear market vibes. Couldn't be more opposite. So great stuff. Let me run through some comments, and then we're going to check floor prices. I want to get back into the Major League Baseball board ape story. May want to chat about Kamala a little bit still here too. Guys, CZ's out in 3 days. 3 days. Gets me thinking about meme coins. It just does. So I want to talk pesto and moodeng. Let's hit those comments again. I'm really sorry about that audio. That was bullshit. Oh, dude, Cats, thank you, dude. Oh, you gave me the audio heads up too. I'm sorry I missed that, guys. Player pump player. Oh my god, dude, I never knew what that meant. I love it. So not PvP, but PPP. Oh, I love it. I'm in that dev token from Chartfu. And I think it was him or Kook that was always calling that PPP, and I didn't know, but I like it. So now I like it even more. Yes. Yep, dude. There's a lot that's gonna pump. Tell you what, just my advice, not financial advice, but it's. I still think good advice. I don't chase projects right now, even if they'll go up, and I think everything pumps. Play new mints. Play new mints. We've got a lot of friends in the space. You guys have all your connections and friends, and I've got plenty enough to help. I think we're gonna get great whitelists. Right? Usually the biggest mints, we usually get access to whitelists. So I would don't go crazy chasing stuff right now. I think you play the whitelist game, the new mint game when season comes, and I think we'll do well. And I'm excited for it. Okay. Let's take a look at floor prices here. The Ordinals ecosystem certainly pulled back. Oh, dude, I didn't realize blobs were all the way up to almost 0.01. Jeez. Shout out to my brother Tickle, who got me into blobs on the Epic team. But right in the path of that hurricane, I think that's going on right now down in Tallahassee. So I know he's out. They evacuated, but it's a big old storm coming there. Cats, I hope you're all good there too. I don't know if it's going to really wreck you, but yeah, good luck with that, guys. Anybody in Florida and anywhere else affected. Anyway, Ordinals again pulled back. Where are our node monks at? 0.18, basically 0.19. Yeah, I mean, down almost across the board. I'm still shocked by Taproot Witches. I am. I can't believe they got to 0.12 yesterday. I'm shocked. I am. Wasn't expecting it at all. But the rest, Blob's the biggest. Man, that's the one that's really surprised me. I'm going to peek. I'm going to be a little selfish. I'm going to peek at the floor on these wireframes. 0.02. I wonder if they sell. I got the wireframe. I would be happy to take 0.025. I'd be okay with that right now. Interesting. I might list that bad girl later. Everything's a girl. Moodeng changed me. I call everything a girl now. It's all she got me. Good morning, Andy. Good to see you, man. On the east side, different story. No, dude. I was hoping with floor prices down on Bitcoin that we peak at ETH and we're actually up, but no. Pretty mid over here. Yeah, nothing really remarkable. Bored Apes up, while Milady's down. Not drastic enough to really matter now, but you guys know we mentioned that here. They almost always are opposite. Almost always. When Milady's are up, Bored Apes are down. When Bored Apes are up, whatever. Just flip what I said. I don't remember what I just said. But they're always opposite for whatever reason. So cool to see. Solana, it's all about the same. Everything's treading water right now. So maybe it is time to be collecting. Maybe it is. You know, like I said, we play the mint game. With that said, there's pretty much just money on the table right now. Pretty much just across the board. Wow, dude. How interesting. This is the first time I've looked at Polygon since they migrated tokens. It's interesting seeing things listed in their Pol token. Fru, good morning, man. Great to see you. And thank you again for the whitelist yesterday. I'll draw those names. I'll draw them maybe at the end of the show. I might just do them off air. You know, I'll record it if people want me to, but you know, ain't no fuckery here. Yeah, but these NFTs now priced in Pol. I like it. That's cool. Anything else base? What's Wolf's on base? Hang on, what is that? Oh, well, price makes it not matter at all, but up 700%. Rebel Monkeys at 0.02 ETH. Keep your eyes on base, guys. I think everybody thinks that we're going to get a period where this cooks. I still believe that. I like those base punks a lot. A lot. Cryptophasia, good morning. Oh, Vru, are you coming with even more? You're nuts, man. Vru keeps us fed, man. Oh, cool shit. All right, yeah, let's do this real quick. So Vru bringing us another mint. This one on Fractal. Let me get this on screen here. This is coming on Fractal. We're going to draw this live. We're going to draw this live by the end of the show. Because it's minting tomorrow. Free mint, by the way. So here we go. And then, Vru, correct me if I get any of this wrong, but here we go. A mint coming from Fractal Market What exactly is this? Oh, a Gen Art collection. Is it Autofrax? Is that what we're giving away? Yeah. Okay, dude, really cool. Really cool. Okay, Autofrax on Fractal. Let me double check. Let me double check how many spots we got. I think I saw 3. Nice. Okay, 3 guaranteed spots. Man, incredible. Thank you, man. Okay, all you have to do, I swear to God, I promise you by Monday next week we will have we'll have a giveaway kind of something set up. AlphaBot. We'll have it rocking because I want you to retweet and follow because it helps a lot, but like it's not the best way to do it. All right, so to enter for one of those 3 spots, retweet today's show from the Crypto Slam account. So find that stream, and I'll drop it in the chat. I still can't. I don't know if you can copy paste out of the comments. I'm not sure. Like I can't on this end, but you guys might be able to. But this is the tweet. I need you to like and retweet. Drop your Ordinals wallet address here. Vrew, do they still need to be using Unisat for that, or have a dedicated Fractal wallet? Because there was a point where like Xverse wouldn't work, right? So I think ideal if you are using Unisat, because you can just switch to the Fractal network. So let me double check that with Vrew real quick. Bang, I'm going to check that out. I'm not familiar. So hold off. Let's wait. Let's get Vrew to answer that. Okay, so if they give Xverse, would that not work? But yeah, if you use Unisat, just that's the easiest. It's probably the best one to provide. And maybe they all work. Maybe they do. Anyway, that's the tweet. Like, retweet. Follow Crypto Slam, of course, and follow Fractals Market. Show them some love. Okay, so Xverse will not work. So there we go. Use your Unisat wallet, or if you have a dedicated Fractal wallet, whatever it might be, use that. But Unisat's the easiest. I'm sure you guys got it. Okay, retweet it, drop address, like, follows, all that good stuff. Good luck, and we'll draw at the end of the show. Pretty cool. Thank you, Vrew. Appreciate it, man. It's cool looking too. I actually like it. Yeah, I dig it. Man, I like Gen Art. Can't wait for FX Hash to start cooking. I wish FX Hash would mint on Bitcoin, and they won't do it. I think it's because a lot of the artists they push back because the energy thing. Like the energy thing it's still a real problem. You know what I mean? Like it's an issue, but so is everything else we're using. So I don't know. I would love to see FX Hash art on Bitcoin. I do hope it happens one day. Okay. You know what we're going to do? We'll start with, and we're not going to go deep into this, but we're going to start looking at some of those meme coins. I want to look at moodeng. I want to look at pesto. Like always, I try to keep you updated on anything I'm in. And so we'll cover those. And I'm in those tokens. So moodeng. And just so you know, if you don't put much in these things, that's fine. I don't put much. I put 1 soul into this at about a 70 million market cap or so, maybe 60, maybe actually it might have been 50, somewhere in that ballpark. After initially getting in at 4 mil, out at 22, 25 mil, and then back in at like 50 or 60. I'm not playing big. I'm slowly wanting to, build a bag. I don't want to lose. That's my goal, is just to not lose. But moodeng is different. Like just a different token, a different kind of ceiling this has. Like in my opinion, and again, not financial advice, but you're looking at not a $200 million market cap token. I don't think even 500. I think you're looking at the $1 billion meme coin. I used to say that was SCF. As dirty as that project got, I don't think it's SCF anymore. I still do think Nero could be one. But out of all of them, I might be most sure about moodeng. Look, Nero, mainstream's not talking about Nero. Mainstream is in non-crypto people. They're not tweeting about Nero. They're certainly not tweeting about SCF. They kind of do tweet about Pepe. They kind of tweet about Whiff, kind of. Nah, not really even. Moodeng, everybody is tweeting about. The UFC tweeted about it. Twitter, the X account posted a moodeng meme. Walmart, everybody is tweeting moodeng. And then when normies see a token that they can associate with Doge, right? The image is in front of their face. When people start comparing it to Doge and they start realizing market cap, right? When they realize that it can, I mean, guys, at this point, what kind of X's would we need to see for it to get to Doge? I mean, like 100 plus? I can't math in my head with this. What is Doge? Like a 15, 16, 17 billion market cap right now? So let's say a 150 to 200X. Am I mathing right here? There is huge potential. I don't think this reaches Doge levels. That's not the point. What I do think is that normies are going to make that association who have dabbled in crypto before, who all of a sudden they hear politicians and I mean, the likes of BlackRock in crypto, full all in on crypto. Normies start connecting these dots. Okay, everybody's in. Bitcoin's not a scam. I get it. Oh, Bitcoin's actually digital gold. Oh, you think the world economy is going to drastically shift because Bitcoin? Okay. Now I don't think it's a scam. Now I'm in. I get, okay. Even if they don't get it, they're like, I'm in. Okay, I have more confidence in it. It's not going away. They can at least make that, come to that realization. And then they start thinking about, well, how could I make some money? I missed Bitcoin. And they think of Doge, and maybe they'd made some money off that in the past, but moodeng is in their face. Moodeng is in their face all day, every day, like it has been. And she's so cute. She's going to stay that way. And then people look at the market cap. Normies don't do that, by the way. They don't look at the market cap, but they look at the price. They'll look at the price. But the ones who do the market cap and put that comparison out, and they say, guys, if this got to a tenth of the Doge market cap, you're still looking at, and again, I'm going to throw out a random number because I'm probably adding wrong, but you're still looking at a 10x, 15x. Like, hey, you want to put $500 and turn that into 5,000? My number, I literally cannot math here. You get the point? Normies are going to look at this as a huge opportunity, and they're right to do it. I think, I really think you're looking at a very special token. We'll see. This might just be the token of 2024. It could just be that. But if we get to next year and this keeps up its momentum, this might be the token of the cycle. This could be up there with Pepe and Whiff. This really could. This feels, I hope you guys feel it. This one feels different, doesn't it? Yeah, Gravity, me too, man. I'm back in with just one soul, but honestly, I believe what I'm saying. I don't have much soul, but I'd be happy to go convert some Bitcoin or some. I believe in this. Anything I want a 2x, I probably would put in here. But I really think you don't have a 2x here. I really think you've got very potentially, a not crazy 10x. It'd be nice to put in $1,000 in 10x. Let's go conservative 5x. Be nice to put in 1,000 and 5x that and feel pretty confident. Be nice to put in more than that. And man, I'll tell you, I know I can't talk about Buddy's bags. I know people are doing very well, life-changingly well. It's crazy. It's crazy. And if you don't play this token, just, man, get into meme coins. Do not ignore them anymore. Don't ignore them anymore. I literally am seeing somebody I know that is changing potentially. Like, we're talking not just retirement money, but like I'm talking generational wealth. It's happening. And I think everybody's just like 1 degree of separation away from somebody who that's happening to. So stay plugged in. Stay plugged in. And I continue to do this because I still think it could be me, could be you. Just, you got to keep staying in and active and playing and keeping on top of stuff. That's it. That's it. The rest is up to luck and how on top of stuff you really are. But keep in. All right, let's look at Pesto, because Pesto is the other adorable, freaking adorable new penguin. Walmart tweeted Pesto yesterday. In fact, let me see if I can find that real quick. I mean, again, this is a sign. This is maybe what the cycle. Okay, I'll put it this way. People said the meme coin cycle's over, and we're not going to have a giga run because we don't have anything new. We don't need anything new. Meme coins are just fine. Especially, look, NFTs were the thing last cycle, and we found out NFTs were nothing. They're fun. They're meme coins. They're still meme coins. If at the very least we've all settled on what this stuff really is, it's all meme coins, and we're okay with that, and clearly we are. We were okay when ordinals popped off. We were okay in meme coin season. We're going to be just fine continuing the meme coin stuff. It was always a casino. It was always just pulling the lever on the slot machine. That's what it always was. So there's no reason to think meme coins aren't the thing of this cycle yet again, and always will be. Always. Different things will just capture attention. That's it. But there you go. Here's Walmart tweeting pesto and moodeng. It's so cute. Oh, man, it's so cute. She's adorable. But here's pesto on, is this Sol? This is pesto on Sol. So I am in this one. I got in here at like 16 mil. And I think just one Sol, maybe 1.5 worth. Like little small positions. I'm going to grind up and play safe until I've got enough that I can go heavier into some. And man, I'll tell you this. It's been really easy so far. I mean that. I'm not a good trader. It's just some of this is automatic, which has me really excited for when we actually get rocking this cycle. This is just the start, and it is off to a hot start. But be on the lookout for when these things start hitting a billion. When we start seeing new tokens hit 1 billion, and some question if that'll even happen, I think it will. That's when everything, it's like NFTs in 2021, 2022. Didn't matter what you bought, it went up. It's going to happen here because it kind of actually already is if you're early enough. If you get in late, that's where it gets dicey. Getting into pesto right now, dicey. Honestly, I think that. Getting in dicey. If you get it when it's like these small market cap tokens, I'm talking a couple 100,000. I've made a few Sol over the past week just getting in those. Seeing that they're tweeting enough, and I expect because the tweets and the engagement that token price will probably go up, I do exactly that, and then I get out because I know they're going to rug, and I think they all have. But moodeng is interesting. There now, I think the bigger, not moodeng, pesto. The bigger pesto is actually on ETH, I think. Let me double check. Actually, no. This one's just 1 point. That's spicy. That's potentially really interesting here. That's kind of tempting. Because I do think there's going to be, we already have this to a degree, I think there's going to be an ETH versus Solana battle again, like we saw with Nero, like we've seen with plenty of tokens, but I do think that's going to ramp up. I do think influencers, guys like Kook, all those guys, I think moodeng to 1 billion, bang, I really do. I really do. I really, really, really do. But that battle with guys like Kook and others, they're going to, I mean, these guys will CTO some of these ETH tokens, and they'll make them competitive with the Solana side. They will. And those guys that know how to actually control the supply, they can really push these things. So keep an eye out for opportunities like maybe pesto on ETH. I don't know anything about this as far as what insider holdings look like. I have no idea, but I'm at least decent at knowing where there's opportunities that you then got to do the research and figure out what's the play. But there's something there. There's definitely something there. And then let's see. What's the other one? Muwan. This is a really shitty token. It's ugly. You're going to look at the chart and you're going to laugh. But good morning, DeYank. Good to see you, man. Vrew, yeah, man. Epic really pumping. And yeah, not Epic, excuse me. Blobs. And I don't know why. They're getting tweety, but I think they're cooking something. Okay, Muwan. This one's ugly, but I'm in it. Muwong is moodeng's sister. And all I see is maybe an opportunity with a token that's at a $167,000 market cap. Now, there is one on ETH, and that one's got a much higher market cap. Let me see if I can find that. This one here? Oh, did it get rugged? Am I thinking of the wrong one? There was one on ETH that Kook was promoting. So Kook tweeted about it. When I saw that one, it was at a $1 million market cap. Yeah, it was at $1 million. Yeah, I wonder where that is. That was created just a few days ago. It was like the 24th. And I don't see it at all now. Unless it was rugged already. That could be, but I remember it. It was on the 24th. Yeah, I thought it was this, but yeah, I don't, maybe it got wrecked already. This doesn't make sense, though. So I'll do digging on this, but either way, the point was you got to look for the opportunities that surround these tokens too, right? So the derivatives across chains, but also anything related. Kind of like with Nero, there's the Genin or Genin token, right? The cat in the family. I still have a little of that. Again, like half a soul, just to exposure because you never know. Because guys, man, when you get in these tokens sub $1 million market cap, that's where you make that generational wealth. That is where the people I know that are very possibly going to retire because of moodeng, they got in early. They got in sub 1 mil. So that's why I'm rolling the dice on some of these. Now you have to go in with size at those levels too. You throwing in 1 soul ain't going to change your life, but 1 soul here that a 6-7x is a $1 million market cap, you can grow a bag that way. And so that's what I'm kind of playing here as safely as I can. A quarter soul in this token, 1 in that. And as it's going up, as I start learning more about the token, as I start feeling out how legit they are and how good is the team that controls the supply, I'll start putting a little more in. And I think that's the strategy. So guys, I'm getting obsessed with this. Like, I love it. As best I can, I will keep you plugged in here. If you guys have not been playing fungibles, and you've been looking like, where do I even get alpha? Where do I learn this stuff? It's what I'm trying to do here now. Like for myself. And like it always is, guys. Like I'm trying to learn for myself, but I'm just driven to share whatever I know because it's hard to find stuff out there. And a lot of the guys who are in this stuff and are experts, they don't really want to share what they know because it makes it more competitive, right? I don't care. I want to learn this. And I'm hungry to learn it, and I'm going to share whatever I find, whatever I learn, and the losses too. If I win or lose, whatever, you'll see it. But there's Muwan, little position here. Like, again, 1 soul or so, somewhere in that ballpark. None of them over 2. I mean, they're all 0.25 up to like 1, 1.5. And that's it. That's my bags. Genin, Muwan, moodeng, and pesto. That's it. 4 coins. Nero on ETH over on Ethereum. That's it. That's all my fungible tokens. So obviously I'm not a big fungible token trader, but I am newly pretty dedicated to learning it. So we'll do it together. Man, it's exciting out there, guys. It really, really is. All right, let's kill that. Let's do a little MLB talk. And there's not a ton to say about this, but I think it's a cool happening. Oh, and we got Jared coming here in about 10 minutes. I can't wait. I definitely want to talk ArtBlocks. We'll go as long as we need to. Maybe we go, an extra 30 minutes when Jared's here. Maybe we go a full extra hour, whatever. We'll keep going as long as the conversation wants to go. Okay, so here we go. Let's set this up. It's the Bored Apes with Improbable at the Major League Baseball virtual game. So you actually, you take your avatar, you go on the field, you watch the game played out in front of you. It's really freaking cool. Check it. Oh, dude. I'm such a dummy. I actually thought they animated the game. Actually render it all. They render the stadium, but you actually just watch a stream of the game, which actually is cool enough. I like that still. I really do like that. You know what I can't wait for? This is getting a little ahead of myself right here, but what I can't wait for...
This is Orion.
These new Orion AR glasses, guys. Okay? Picture like the Apple Vision Pro. And you talk with your buddies and it'll put their avatar right in front of your face, right? You look like you're talking to a person. I can't wait till you do that with these, which you can. That is a feature in these. Okay. I can't wait till you're doing that in a virtual stadium like that. And it's your NFT avatar. You look like a bored ape and you're standing around a baseball field. And it's just overlaid in your living room, or there's players that are actually moving around in your living room playing out the game, or it's a smaller rendering of it that you put on your table, and you get to maybe look down at it, maybe you can stretch it out and really resize it. It's cool stuff. This is amazing. This is fucking amazing. I didn't buy the Vision Pro day one. I don't have one. I want one still actually, but this, depending on the price, day one for me. right? Dude, I have been obsessed with VR since I was a kid. What was the Nintendo VR headset I had? A Virtual Boy. I have been obsessed with VR since I was a kid. I had a Virtual Boy. I've had probably 5, 6, 7 different VR headsets. I've got the Valve Index. I've got the MetaQuest 2, and I have 4 of those sitting around my house. PSVR, a lot of them. I'm very into VR. This is crazy. My favorite stuff in VR is the pass-through in AR. That's the shit. And man, Zuckerberg talks here, it's not pass-through, right? Like the other headsets work with pass-through. This isn't pass-through. It's literally you looking through lenses, and it just overlays stuff. There's no pass-through. Total game changer. God, went off on a little tangent, kind of, but it's because I see stuff like this, and I picture, how do you do that where it's even more immersive? You throw on glasses and you see your buddy, but I think the association there was seeing your NFT. You dressed as your NFT, which I think is going to be so cool. But let's check more footage here. This is a much better clip. Courtesy of, who's this guy? Tropical. This is down at Tropicana Field, by the way, in Florida. I used to live there, right around the corner. Pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool. Wait. They did render the game. Come on. Fuck yeah. That's fucking awesome, man. Tris, do you remember? Okay, so Virtual Boy had that kickstand, and you would have to lean into it. And it was all the red graphics, right? Oh, man, what a blast. There was oh man, what are the? I'm trying to think of the genre, like the arcade space shooters, right? Where you fly and you're shooting. There was a game like that I played all the time. There's a baseball game I played, like Space Invaders kind of game. That was, man. There were some great games. I've gone on eBay to price those. They're not crazy expensive. Actually, they're kind of historic. I might want to buy one. Hey man, when mints kick off, we start making a little moolah again. Virtual Boy is going to be one of my first purchases, I think, along with the Orion headset. Look at these Virtual Boys, let's say $200 to $300. Oh, man, do I want one. Oh, my goodness. Okay, hang on. I got to get Jared a link to come on here. Give me just a second, guys. Okay, we got Jared the link. Oh, shit. I'm excited. We'll see what happens here, but check this out. Milk Road was asking for some guests to come on. Volunteer myself like I do. I'm hoping to be on there. That'd be sweet. I love them. They're great. Remember Tyler and Zeneca, and they've got a few others that recently joined their rotation of contributors. They're awesome. Really like them, so yeah, that'd be cool. Okay, Virtual Boy rad. This is rad. I didn't realize they actually rendered the game. I was hoping they did. I was bummed when I saw just the, the feed. As cool as it is, I've watched VR conferences or concerts and events that are just that. Just watching it with other people's cool. Tell you this, a buddy of mine, we haven't done this in probably a year, but we used to do this probably 2 or 3 times a week. There's an app called Big Screen. And it's virtual movie theaters, and you watch movies, and you hang out, and you chit-chat, and man, it's a great experience. It really is immersive. You really feel like you're there. You feel like you're in a movie theater, but so immersive, and it feels like you're hanging with your buddy. Tennis, that's right. Now, here's what I really wonder. How off-putting was it for your guy like this? I don't know if he's an NFT guy or not. I'm not sure. But how off-putting do you think it was for normies to be in this event? Now, you're doing this from your computer, by the way, maybe mobile. But if you were in there and you start seeing these silly-looking apes all around you, there's none in the screenshot here. But what do you think they thought? Do you think, and I would love to find this out somehow, do you think that was maybe a bad look? Maybe? Resiak, good morning, man. Do you think possibly? Like, let's be honest. Most people still do not like NFTs. Most people think it's super cringe. And Bored Apes have gotten hammered over the past year or two, reputation-wise out there. Do you think some of these guys thought it was incredibly off-putting to see a bunch of Bored Apes around them? That, oh my God, I'm around Bored Ape people. Like, fuck this. I'm not touching the MLB stuff anymore, the virtual stuff at least. Do you think that was maybe a turnoff for people? And I don't know. I'm asking, but I'd love to. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna have to search Twitter and see. I'm gonna search right now. I want to see if we got feedback. Like, get this the fuck out. Okay, let's see. Hang on. What do I search here? MLB Bored Apes. That should work, right? I think it's cool. But again, we're not serious people here. You know? Like, no, we're full on ridiculous. People don't like us. Like, they got to put up with us whether they like it or not, I think, but Oh, yes. Yeah, here we go. Oh my God, here we go. Yeah, exactly what I was hoping. Yeah. Not hope. I don't mean it like I was rooting for this to not work, but okay. Here's their tweet. Here we go. A JD Vance parody account. You guys just make up anything to try and be bullish because Hudah isn't actually delivering anything decent. That might be an NFT guy that's just a salty, like Hudah hater. I got a lot of them. Imagine thinking Bored Apes have any underlying value. Okay, I want to hear not from somebody who knows this stuff. I want to hear from a normie, not somebody who's like, attack mode against Hudah. I want to hear from an attack mode against NFTs. Now, you guys know my real thoughts about the other side and improbable and all that stuff. Do you guys know? Hey, we got Jared here. Hang on real quick. I want to get him up, and we'll finish this part of the chat and get to some sweet, sweet art stuff. Oh my goodness, dude.
Yo.
Great to see you. No echo, right?
Nope. We're good.
Dude, great to see you. Good morning.
Good morning, GM.
Yeah.
You can keep going. I want to hear the end of this Hudah thing because when you're talking about normies, I think it's an important part of the growth of our space that I'm still trying to wrap my head around different mental models.
It's really important, right? And it's okay. It's already maybe a leap or stretch for normies to want to hop in a virtual event when they're used to sitting on their couch and watching a game. So did any of those guys say for the first time, it's kind of it's a neat idea. I'll hop in and check it out. You know what I mean? And having maybe never done something like that before. This is new. Though these kind of experiences are still pretty new, and especially for normies. And it's, baseball has a lot of normies. And I don't mean that in an insulting way, but it is what it is. But then they get in and they see a whole bunch of goofy-ass ape characters dancing around and looking ridiculous. And the bigger concern, probably the wrong way to say it, but if they spoke like degens tend to speak, and how off-putting that could have been. It could have. I don't know. But it's something I think we got to be mindful of. Are we representing ourselves as the best we can in front of an audience that may not be fully crypto, NFT, Web3? And I don't know. I just can imagine going to a thing. Okay, maybe I'll say it like this. I go in VR stuff sometimes, and some of these VR social apps are full of furries. And I think they're great. I have a lot of fun. Like, I hang out and I chat and I have fun. But if you gave somebody a headset and had them go there, I don't know, they're going to feel away. They might just feel a certain kind of way because they're not used to that. It's that simple. It's just very foreign to them. The environment's foreign. And then the people they're hanging with is just not something they are used to or have been around. This is similar. If you're a normie going in, it's just these ape goofballs talking about crypto and wag me kind of stuff. So I just wonder that, and I will be digging for more comments, posts, tweets out there about it. But that's the concern. And it
Here's a
look,
hot take for the day. I'm not right now, but at some point, I'm seriously considering getting into the Yuga ecosystem through a Bored Ape.
yeah,
And I think that there's a long-term play. Like once they have these social clubs open up, whether it's Miami or New York, LA, whatever it is, I think that there's a really interesting value proposition,
networking stuff.
especially yeah, networking. I mean, it sounds crazy to say that, but I think that I don't know if I'll have like some sort of annualized actual membership fee, but just to be able to get into it, have 10,000 people who have access to it, maybe less, right? Because there's multiple holders. I don't know. There's something very intriguing about that, and especially with Yuga becoming kind of like that forward-facing brand of Web3.
Yep.
I, I think there's a really interesting proposition there if you're patient enough, and I mean these things take time too, right? Like if they don't have a property under contract and they don't have a contractor or permitting on the space, like you're years out. So it's not like I'm saying I'm gonna go out and get it tomorrow. The next dip, I feel like when it's like PFP Max Pain, that's when
Oh
I
man,
think I'm gonna jump in. But
I love
I
it.
think by then it'll be ready. But
Smart.
let's say candidly, like even somebody, I mean, I have like a man crush on Raoul Paul, like he has one, right? There's a bunch of people who like one of my favorite art blocks collectors of all times is a gentleman named Von Mises. He has
He's
one.
awesome.
Yeah, like Von Mises is insane. Like so I won't give away a lot of stuff, but like it reminds me of like Soho vibes type thing. Soho, like and it's one of those things where like it just makes so much sense. They for like an incremental amount of their I'll call it liquidity, you could create these clubs, and they don't even have to be like laced in marble or whatever. But if you give it a little bit of like a professional, forward-facing appearance, like, it could be a really interesting proposition long term.
I mean,
Just
man,
my thought.
companies and whatever, it's a great thought, and I think you're exactly right. Like the motivation, everything about it. Companies spend a lot of money on marketing. A lot of money on marketing, and this is like an element to that. Man, you guys know this. It is a lot about who you know and the people you know. It really is, and it can kind of make or break your brand and what you're doing. It does nothing but help. It's smart, dude. I've even thought about before just putting a Bored Ape PFP on my Twitter account, not owning one, but just doing it because it matters. Everybody knows it matters.
Yeah.
I think it's a great move, by the way. I do. Getting in that ecosystem with an ape. Would you consider like leasing one, renting one, and looking even at a mutant, or is it the ape you just?
So I wanted a mutant for a long time. Like I don't know if I've shared my story on in here, but like I got into the art space. Like so I was pretty early into crypto. Was able to, in 2020, 2021, I missed a lot of opportunity. Like somebody brought punks to me when it was like $300 and I just didn't get it. Right. Like I was like, pixelated things like it. And then Bored Apes actually, so I was in a couple crypto trading groups, hit my radar when they were half an ETH. But I had an exit target last cycle of $4,000 for ETH, which ended up being pretty darn good. And I was just like, you know what? I don't know if I want to spend $2,000 on this like cartoon monkey. It didn't make sense to me, right? I hadn't wrapped my head around NFTs at the time. The art didn't. I shouldn't say the art, but like just the aesthetic didn't vibe with me. I didn't understand it. And then like V Friends, I have a whole like I was gonna buy. I really like Gary V. I respect what he's trying to build, so I was gonna buy 12 ETH worth of stuff, like three, because in the Dutch auction, people don't remember this, but like it was in a Dutch auction and everything hit its resting price, right? Like and it sat there for a week or weeks before like he just like minted everything to a personal wallet or a company wallet.
I didn't remember that at all. By the way,
Because I remember sitting there looking at like rares because I wanted to get like in the rare floor was like 3 ETH. And at the time that was a lot, right? And I think ETH was around 4K at that point. So I'm like, do I exit? Do I do I tell my wife I bought these like digital representations of Gary V sketches? I ended up not doing it because what happened, it was when my second son was born. I'm crazy with security. I couldn't access my ETH. it was like midnight. My kid wouldn't stop screaming his face off. So I was just like, I gave up. It ended up being the wrong decision, right? So I dove into it. And once I dove into NFTs, I really realized like what it was. I was like, oh shit, this is powerful, right? And I started flipping CloneX. I was naturally inclined to be a trader. And it made sense to me because of the Murakami connection, because I love Murakami's art, and it was in Nike. So I started flipping them. Anyways, I did pretty well there and ended up finding Bored Apes, obviously, but they were insanely expensive. So I was like, I really dove in. I knew at the time, I knew everything about CloneX, man. Like, and I had listing bots. The second something listed, I could tell you if it was like,
You had bots?
what's that?
You had bots?
Yeah, I still do. I have
Oh,
like
wow.
listing bots and some others, but like the whole concept was like I knew right away if I was going to buy it, flip it, you know. And anyways, I started digging into mutants because I thought that there was a really interesting affiliation and kind of growth of the ecosystem for apes. And I just none of my bids ever hit. I couldn't like quite get into the ecosystem. So this is a long story to tell you. I've admired mutants for a long time. I just have never been able to. There's a couple art projects too, like Matt Delorier's Meridians. Like I had a standing like WETH bid on this one particular type that I'm in love with for like 6 months, right? I give up, and then like over the next 2 weeks, 3 get sold into WETH bids that were lower than like what mine was.
Oh.
And I'm like, oh my God, you know, so it's just like, you know, like the universe is like, fuck you.
Yes.
That's the way I feel with mutants, but it's just kind of fun at the end of the day.
So it definitely is then Bored Ape or bust.
So my new perspective is Bored Ape or bust. Yes. I truly think that, again, I'm not on the inside on this. I don't know. I know people at Yuga, but I'm not like in the know per se. But I think that there's going to be a kind of tiered thing, like where like the board apes, the OGs, probably get full access to something, and then like there'll be
Oh,
like a terrace down.
interesting. I haven't heard that. Even like I've heard nothing about that. Other than I know, like you were talking about access to like kind of physical locations, I think, like on top of just the connections. But
Yeah.
I know people wanted them, and they've said they're building like a club, whatever, in Miami. So possibly your access depends on your asset. Bored Ape is your keys to the kingdom. Go anywhere, do anything. Like just totally guessing. But maybe a mutant doesn't do the exact same.
Yeah. So I've had the privilege of like working in corporate real estate for a long time prior to Web3. Are you laughing at me?
Lemon, he's such
Oh,
an
Lemon.
asshole.
Yeah, I know. I was trying not to snicker that one too. Well, and so I was part of different like social clubs in LA, and then you started to see this like there was different tiers, different levels of access. So, and I think even within it, like you're gonna have like some different stuff. Like
Yeah.
maybe the cigar rooftop everybody gets access to, but the bar is limited. You know, you
Oh,
just
I
start
love
to
that.
like it's very logical to me. Maybe I'm off.
No, I think a lot of people assumed we were going that way and maybe disappointed we weren't there yet, but also I don't know. I think we also grew faster than anybody was expecting. It's a weird thing, right? Because I do think that adoption wise, we got bigger faster than I thought we ever would. At the same time, yeah, we didn't build a lot. I don't know. It's a weird headspace I'm in with as far as like how far we've come. But the point is, that's where I thought we would go ultimately. A lot of access tied to these things, a lot of things that really bring us to the real world.
Well,
And
you're seeing that with Gary Vee and Flyfish, right? Like, I mean, there's people rolling this out in a fashion that, to me, is indicative of like where it could be going, or they're going to set the model. They're maybe more comfortable going out on the risk curve because they're comfortable with what this represents, and then being able to. I mean, all Flyfish and some of this other stuff is it's a country club. It's a country club membership. Like, you know, in order to go to like, if you even are fortunate enough to get the invite to like Augusta, it's like, or some of these other elite, like you can't even get into LA Country Club, but you still need $250,000 if you ever do get the call to say like, hey, we want you, and the price has probably gone up. These are just like verifiable, you know, tokenized access passes, in my
that's
opinion.
well, I'll tell you what, really interesting hearing those prices. I'm so removed from anything like that that I couldn't tell you what that's worth, what it costs to get into some of those country clubs. Hearing $250,000 for which one?
I mean, this was 10 years ago. LA Country Club. That's the one that like the Playboy Mansion sits on,
Okay.
and a bunch of these other ones. Like it's literally right in the middle of Beverly Hills, and it's impossible. Like it's impossible to get a tea time unless you know a club member,
Wow.
allegedly.
Dude, you're making me like extra bullish on Bored Apes.
I just think that Yuga, like whether you like, and look, I'm by no means a Yuga fanboy. I'm not like I own other than a Moonbird, which got acquired by them. I have no Yuga assets, but I respect what they're building, and I even like I look at this like tier, like almost like a pyramid, and these games to me are about like onboarding, as you said, normies, like kind of red pilling people into getting into a fun game, trying to like get in there and play. And like, yeah, there's a bunch of Web 3D gens possibly right now, but if you create a dope enough game, like people are going to come, and all of a sudden that percentage of Web 3D gens becomes a smaller and smaller piece of the pie, right? And then adoption happens, and you kind of goof people into doing it, and then all of a sudden, like you got people like Raul Paul going, "Yeah, hell, I'll buy one just because I want to be a part of this social experiment," right? And I
Yep.
think that that's meaningful.
Man, it makes a lot of sense. God, I hope I have something that gets me into some kind of club that I want to be in. But I'll always be happy just being here online. My favorite place, to be honest. Dude, you mentioned Moonbirds. That's really high up on my list of things I want. I really want to get into a Moonbird. Um, because I think if we start talking about access, I think they get me a kind of access. I have no idea, but a kind of access, some access to a thing I like, content. Like I'm thinking similar to Doodles and whatever else they're gonna do. And I don't know if it also extends to, the art world, given that it's from that part of the ecosystem. I don't know, but Moonbird is yeah. I think those might be a little spicy where they're at right now. You're
Yeah,
happy
I
having your
mean,
Moonbird?
what's that?
Are you happy with your Moonbird right now? And what do you think they got coming?
So I know the former like proof team that, and I love that team. Honestly, like I'm curious to see what happens, and I actually am very comfortable holding my Moonburn. I mean, I minted it for free because I had a proof pass, right?
Oh wow.
And I I flipped one of them for like 20 ETH because I got two for free. I flipped one for 20 ETH, which was in or like 24, 25. Like it was pretty
Wild.
crazy. But I'm excited to see where it goes. Um, and I'm very I think Yuga has to like get their own house straight with like apes and mutants and like other side in the games. And then I think you see it spill off into something like Moonbirds. But a Moonbird gets you access to a lot of the stuff that again, on the peripheral, like you can kind of see these like concentric rings, like on like the Moonbird, like you get access to some of the early games and stuff once you're in their Discord. So I think it's like it's demo. Yeah, and I see somebody just mentioned something about like punks having a similar community. Like, yeah, my goal too is to have a punk for each one of my family members.
Oh wow.
I want to have a punk family, but yeah, I mean,
Oh
like
yeah.
you rock a punk as your PFP, like I mean that's like a sign of being an OG. I have the
Dude.
graphic somewhere, but it was like punk founders, and it was like the PFP, all these like founders, like within Web3, and like their
Yeah.
punk PFP, and it's just like
Sad.
I know obviously I'm adjacent to people who own punk, so I've gone to like punk brunches and punk events, and dude, I mean, like it's worth the price of admission. I mean, I hate to say it, and especially nowadays at like 50 grand or whatever, close thereabouts. Like it's again, I'm not degrading the fact that like 50 grand's a lot for a lot of people. There's a reason why I'm not spending 50 grand right now because like it's not like I have a liquid 50 grand. But it's if you're a builder in the space, like it's a really, really interesting long-term proposition.
Yep. Um, and spot on. I always like on the different chains finding that PFP that is the one like you said the builders rock on Bitcoin. It's OMBs, the devs, the builders, especially behind the scenes. They usually are almost always rocking OMB on Solana. It's probably a Boogle. It's just there's just always a certain asset that's it's a sign of something. Dude, Punk's 73 grand. Crazy. Crazy. Not and also not crazy. Makes perfect sense. And I'm still one of those people who thinks it's gonna be $1 million floor one day. Like
Yeah.
$1 million and probably doesn't come back. Um, but that's what it's way down the road, but I'm nothing's changed my mind about that.
Yeah, the punks are going to be. I mean, you're seeing it already. A lot of high net worth individuals, billionaires, whether it's public that they're billionaires or not, are buying up Grail punks. I mean, this is in some weird way. These are going to hang on people's digital walls or AR galleries. By the way, did you see the new Meta glasses that are coming out?
Oh my god, dude! Just before you joined, we were chatting.
When do they release? Because I'm actually I didn't have the Apple Vision Pro, but these Meta ones I'm getting like they look so dope.
All right. I'm gonna Google it real quick, dude. And really cool couple days for tech.
Yeah.
Like we had okay, we had OpenAI updating ChatGPT, and it now has this like persistent online voice thing, which I know probably is sketchy or people don't like. I left mine on all day yesterday and just had a conversation with her all day, and I loved it. Like I think it's so cool. But then the glasses. Oh shit! I'm sorry. I thought I closed the tab here. I thought I actually closed the show out. Okay. These I'm gonna pull up the glasses because I don't know the price or the release date, and I think no matter what, as long as it's not insane price, I think I'm gonna get them too. Dude, they look amazing. Let me find this. Orion AR glasses. Wow, they cost 10,000 to make. Jesus. All right, so they're not gonna be cheap.
All right, never mind. I'm not buying them.
Yeah, I wonder if this is more for devs or something still. And also, who knows? Who knows what's the truth? Okay. They're calling it a prototype here.
Is there a wait list for this thing? I want to get on a wait list. What do I got to do?
There's not yet that I said. Well, I'm definitely gonna dig later because I'm with you, dude. They look cool. They look so cool.
Well, dude, I mean, I viewed the promo, and the thing that always turned me off for the Vision Pro was the clunkiness, and then the cord, right? Like,
Yeah.
it just didn't feel practical. And I think, by the way, I think it's an amazing innovation. But
Dude,
with the
yes.
ones that I saw with Meta, like just like the finger, everything, so you didn't have to be like talking like a goober to yourself or like you doing this. Just the finger, you can kind of get it towards the end of this, but like the finger scrolling in kind of like a subtle way, like
Yep.
felt like I was like, duh. And then I saw somebody post about it. They go, "This is Meta's iPhone moment," and I was like,
Yep.
truth, right?
The
Like,
Ray-Ban glasses are what showed us that's the direction you got to go down. And I
yep.
love that they pivoted so quick. And I was surprised. We'll play the whole video. It's incredible, but surprised that these do a lot of the things that I thought were the coolest about the Vision Pro.
Yeah,
It's the
the
chatting with a buddy and the
recognition.
hologram is in front of you.
Yep.
The screens everywhere. By the way, so I was mentioned before, I've got a lot of VR headsets. I have like 3 or 4 Quest 2s or 3s, and I've got like a Valve Index and all kinds of stuff. My favorite thing to do with them is sit at my desk and put up screens and like see how productive I can be with it. And I've always thought it's awesome. Like that tech's not quite there where it's sharp enough and comfortable enough to really sit and do, but I was always like, man, it's so close. And I would live in that. I would work in that. We've got monitors all around us already. It's like I've got 2 monitors, a phone, another laptop, and they like everywhere. If I can just throw on some glasses and we're done, come on.
Dude, this is it's exciting. Like this is kind of like I didn't get excited about a lot of the headsets, but this is the one that I'm like, oh, this could be the red pill for a lot of people into the digital space.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not like the craziest thing is it's not that invasive, right? And they're like nice enough looking that like people will recognize. It's like almost like if you have like a Gucci belt or something, right? Like people will be able to be like, oh, but it's not like distracting in the sense of like having this like monster headset running around, right?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm pulling up. God damn it. I was hoping to time this perfectly, and I didn't. You'll see. You'll see in a second what I'm being an idiot about. Damn it. All right. Whatever. I'll just put it up. Dude, I was trying to be smooth and get this meme up. Whatever. Let's play the clip. Dude, they legit blow my mind too. All right, echo alert. So just a heads up.
I started putting together a team of the best people in the world to to build these glasses. And the requirements are actually pretty simple. But the technical challenges to make them are insane. They need to be glasses, not a headset, no wires, less than 100 grams.
I thought he was going to say
They need
$100.
wide field of view, holographic displays. Come on. Sharp enough to pick up details. Bright enough to see in different lighting conditions. Large enough to display a cinema screen or multiple monitors for working wherever you go, whether you're in a coffee shop or on a plane or wherever you are. And you need to be able to see through them. And people need to be able to see through them too.
That right there, by the way, that's the stuff that really excites me. Overlays. Like just overlays. Have you ever, by the way, seen the hyper reality video? It was like probably 5 years ago. I'll play that after. It's like this prediction of where we're going. It's overlays on everything. It looks super gamified, and it actually scared people. But it's accurate. It is where we're heading, and it's not a bad thing.
I have a lot of philosophies, like the way tech is going to progress, but I agree with the overlays. And I think that, like, our kids, whether it's like a contact lens or glasses, are going to be able to walk down the street. And it's like, you can already kind of do this. You're like, hey, Siri, what's the 9 planets, or what's the distance from here to the moon, or what's, how hot is it? You can ask that, but I think that there's going to be able to like be programs that you put on as like, what is the, oh, look, my Siri's for my iPad's talking to me.
Huh.
But the thing is, like, you'll be able to like put on a mode of like, hey, like if you're into engineering, like what are the whatever for a steel structure or this or that, and it's just going to be able to, like, you'll walk down and be able to look at structures, or just like, I don't know, like even the inclusion of like Samsung and smart like fridges and stuff. It's going to be like
everything, right?
It's going to be like all of a sudden you're on your glasses or your vision. It's going to be like, hey, don't forget this. You're running low on that. Like,
I'll tell you what,
it's there.
This new ChatGPT update, that's why I have it up all day. Literally that. I tell it little appointments I have. I make a note for something I'm going to come back to. It remembers everything I've ever put into it. Anything. I feed it my newsletters every week. It references back to them. It knows my shows. It knows who my guests are on the shows when I say their name. It knows it all. And so I told my wife and I told my brother yesterday, keep it up and use it like a personal assistant throughout the day. I think people look at ChatGPT as just a search, like a search engine right now. I'm like, don't treat it like it's your best friend that's here to help you with anything. Just see what it's capable of. I think it's going to blow you away. And then combine it with this. With this is where it gets silly.
Well, the combination of this is going to be off the hook. But I remember listening to somebody talk about how they used it to like do all this research on like healthy living, and then distill it down to meal plans, and then they distilled it down to a grocery list, and then they fed it into like Amazon Fresh, and they like literally have like this like healthy thing, and then they stored all the recipes. It was like. And they put the context of like, I don't want to spend more than 10 minutes like doing a meal prep or whatever it was. Like, it just like these are insane. Like, it's an insane value if utilized correctly. And I think that there's a real opportunity there to be like an AI type of expert for creating that perfect AI personal assistant.
Yeah.
I'm watching this online, by the way.
Cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
This right here. But it's such a big net positive. My kids with their homework, with just everything, all the questions they ask, and the fact that they will not just hear it and somebody repeating it to them and giving them the answer, but they actually will see it, which really does help people grasp things when you see it. You get the audio, that feedback. You'll probably see it in text. You might see an example of it pop up too. It's just what this is going to do for us. This part scares people. This scares people, but you got to consider the other side of just how smart it's really going to make us. It's pretty wild.
But even it's like smart, but then it's like silly stuff. Like, I went out for pizza and ice cream with my family last night, right? Like, and my kid almost walked into I'm watching the street right there, and this example came to mind. He almost walked in the street, and like, luckily he was holding my hand. Like, we're big on safety, but I'm like, fucking hey, dude, like there's a car coming, right? Like with that, it might be able to like detect and say like, don't walk. Like, there's so many different applications and apps that can be utilized not only for like day-to-day, and I look at like, if you're Travelocity or American Airlines, like you could gamify travel, like
Oh man.
hit this gate and you get 5,000 extra points, or like, like go visit here, who's our partner. Like
Yep.
there's a lot of like, and if you're young and you're thinking about careers and you don't want to be a dev or something, like go get a psychology degree. I was just talking about art. There's a long form. I'll have to get who posted it, but there was a long thread about like the guy who sold the Salvatore Dali painting and like how he gamified stuff and basically did PvP against billionaires. And I was like, the dude is a psychological master. I think that psychology is the next meta, and when you're able to like integrate into this stuff. And then I mean, this more than others too, but like when you start talking to Chat GPT, like it can be a search engine, get this from me, get that, but like when you start asking it very intuitive and like in depth, like the person who's going to win at AI is the person who can prompt just that 1%, 5% better. That and I picked this up early when I started talking to AI artists. I was like, oh, you're great at prompting. You're great at communication because you're able to extract from the system what's in your brain in a very meaningful fashion, right? Like if you just give me Mid-Journey, like my stuff isn't going to be nearly as good as Delta Sauce.
Oh, it's such a skill, right?
Yeah.
He was explaining it takes just prompt after prompt after prompt, hours upon hours and days and weeks, months to understand how ChatGPT or excuse me, Midjourney communicates. How does it communicate? How does it respond to my words? How do I then stack these ideas? And then how do I get creative with that? How do I actually use how it works and use that to make something new and fresh? It is an art. Prompting these things is legitimately an art.
Dude,
He really opened my eyes to that, by the way. He's awesome.
Dude, he's so brilliant. I watched him like we did this like thing for 90cc, and he's sitting there prompting, or he's talking about his process, and I just watched like even G Money, who was obviously like the head of 90cc, was like, oh, like he opened it up like, and he said it publicly, so I'll share it, but like he was like, oh yeah, I start prompting in other languages because like the AI is biased towards the native language, and he goes, he wants, but it wasn't like, oh, I'm prompting in like Japanese. He was prompting in like Klingon and like
Jeez.
just these like, and I started to sit there and be like, oh my god, this mental model I have of like prompting in something basic like was so like it basically took my world that I thought was this and made it this, and then brought it back to that, and it's just like this like it was a very humbling. And he wasn't doing it in like a like I'm better than you sense of it. It was a very humbling thing for me because I was like, oh, I have these constraints, these self-imposed constraints for no other reason than like I need to have this bigger view. Like this tool is bigger than I thought before. And I don't know. It's just the more people I engage with, the more I become enthusiastic about this. And like everything on the screen here is just like it's so true, right?
I swear, I think people. It's kind of like I said before, but I think people, 1% of people get what AI can already do and grasp the potential. And again, most people just treat it as like kind of one-off little prompts in that, and it's so much deeper already. Man, this is like, I mean, this is the obvious place it's going. You got your virtual pet, your little companion, and maybe it's an NFT. And I think we'll have a lot of stuff like that. And you're shopping, and of course you get the AR overlays and stuff. But the store at that point's into crypto, and their rewards, like you were saying before, an airline. Well, the store's rewards with crypto, and hey, you buy this today, you get X amount of crypto back, and right on the spot you can swap that crypto to buy treats for your virtual pet that's right in front of you. And just the way this all connects is just going to be, first off, a lot of fun. But engaging, and I do think it's so easy to say that this is just going to dumb us down, and I really do think it's the other way. I do think it makes us like smarter and more attentive. And to Trislet's point, or was it Trislet? Oh yeah, about distractions for kids. I do wonder, and there's a lot of potential for that, and it's probably how it goes. But it's also a great opportunity to help get them focused because there are so many distractions. It can just front and center put the thing in front of their face that they need to focus on or should be focused on. Hopefully, it's just done in the right way.
Yeah, I mean, I think just like anything else, you're gonna have to put in the proper, barriers and create the bandwidth that helps them focus. But Yeah, I mean, like if I set my kid down in front of YouTube all day long, all he'd watch is like Paw Patrol and Power Rangers, right? But if you can sprinkle in a little bit of educational stuff and turn YouTube into something that's like beneficial, it's again the common theme. You have to know the rules in which you're engaging in. But I know we're distracted, but this is I do have a hard stop on the hour because I got to meet with another artist. But
Oh, cool.
yeah,
We got what,
this is
15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, 20 minutes.
Okay. Well, then we got to get to art. Let's finish the video. It's 50 more seconds just so people see some of the other tech that's coming. But picture this. Picture this as you're looking at this guy's room. Picture AR art on your wall. And picture looking at your couch that you can reskin and your wallpaper and your carpet reskin it with probably NFTs. Are obviously free versions, but NFTs that really change the look of your real environment. It's coming.
Make eye contact with you. Right? This isn't pass-through. This is the physical world with holograms overlaid on it. So if someone messages you, you will see that. And instead of having to pull out your phone, there will just be a little hologram, and with a few subtle gestures, you can reply without getting pulled away from the moment. Or if you want to be with someone who is far away, they're going to be able to teleport as a hologram into your living room, as if they're right there with you. You're going to be able to tap your fingers and bring up a game of cards or chess or holographic ping pong or whatever it is that you want to do together. You can work or play or whatever.
It's truly wild. It really. I can't wait till we get the price. I can't wait till we get the release date. I'll make plans around getting that. Man, it's wild. It's wild.
Yeah, no, it's exciting times. I was waiting for this moment where I'm like, yes, this is the moment. So yeah,
very much Ready Player One, right? It's gonna be a lot.
Yeah,
like
I mean, Dead Polaroid kind of hit it right on the head. Like it is the potential to move it in. I actually think that it's going to accentuate real life experiences because I see this in Web3, right? Like real life IRL, and then this is a perfect transition into ArtBlocks. Like IRL and physical stuff still, at least from a sensory standpoint, is very important. I think that yes, so you could have like Ready Player One where people are just cooped up in shacks and not doing much. But on the flip side, I think it's really interesting to be able to like get access to things, like the Mona Lisa, right? Like what happens when the Louvre is, you can experience it in a headset. Yeah, it'd be nice to go see it, but how many people can't afford to fly to Paris, right? Like, but then you'll be able to experience it. Maybe it motivates them. Maybe it inspires them. I don't know. I think these virtual environments are going to be interesting.
I'm with you. All right, since we got a few minutes left, here we go, dude. Well, actually, I don't have to explain to you how excited probably a bunch of us were to see this tweet come from ArtBlocks. That we have a new ArtBlocks curated drop. I think I counted it. This is going to be the first drop from them in like 7 months, maybe 8 months.
So it's been a while.
It's been a minute, dude. It's been a minute. And right, I said NFTs are back a month ago when the CryptoKitties mint, eggs mint happened. That was the definitive moment where I'm like, we're back. Something cooking on secondary. I've also said, though, we're not really, really, really back. The market is not really, really back until we have another ArtBlocks mint. Right? They paused at the right time. I don't know if that was by design, right? I don't know if it's because they don't want to. You don't want to set your artists up to fail. Great art, but if you don't have a market that is willing to participate, why would you do that to an artist? So they sensed what was coming, I think, in the market, and they, I think, throttled back, unless it was pre-planned. I don't know, but I think they're smart, and it feels timed. New mint, gorgeous freaking new mint. What do you know about this? Do you want to set this up?
Go for it.
Okay.
I'll supplement.
Michael Kozlowski. Does he go by that name? Or does he go by MP?
MP Cos is kind of like his artist name and his digital name. A lot of people just use MP Cos, but I met him. He's a good dude.
Nice.
They do refer to him as Michael too. So MP Cos or Michael.
All right. Well, MP Cos with a new collection called Bokeh, if I say that right. blows my mind because ArtBlocks didn't just come back with a brand new mint for the sake of having a new mint, and I don't think they ever would. But man, when you come back, it's nice to not come back to the exact same thing you were doing before, not just not just an image, which we all love that and we collected it, and that's great. But it's just extra nice that they come back at the right time with something that actually it feels very fresh. And what that is obviously NFT art, but physicals. I think that is to me the core of this new collection. It's a physical, actually multiple physicals, and I guess the number of editions on that I think just shows how much like thought and care is going into this offering. It's incredible. So this collection's dropping here mid to late October here. I think there is, well, let's see. Well, let's start it even here. I think there's like a private sale of some of these editions. What got me is there's 20 of these, guys. These. Oh my god, it's this generative physical lamp, which that just gets me. It just gets me. There's 20 of them. This is a 300, maybe even a 320 edition collection. It's actually pretty small, but only 20 of the lamps. There might be more. I'll have to go back and look when they get to the public part of the sale. I don't think so. I think it's 20 of the lamps here, and that's it. And then for the rest of the collection, I think there's maybe, I'm going to throw out a random number. It might be wrong, but I want to say like 50 of this. Not a lamp, but something to hang on the wall. But there's 2 different physicals here, and both are so limited that even if you're a holder of the NFT, I don't think you're guaranteed to get one of these. Incredibly smart. It's, again, this fresh offering of something physical to go with the NFT that I probably might like a lot more than just the NFT, but also that there's like some variety in there and very exclusive. Very exclusive.
Yeah, I think the thing that was really interesting to me, the idea of physicals is to this extent, I think, is new, right? But like even like Rope Renisto in Reworld, he had this like trait called XL prints. Delta did the same thing for issues, and it gave access to a claimable print, right? Even like Fidenzas, right? If you have I mean, this is dope, right? Look at that detail.
So cool.
Right? So the idea of an NFT being tied to a physical claimable and only one of one being able to be claimed, I think has been around. But what this did is it took it to another level. And I think it was like Luke Shannon who worked with Tonic to get like generative furniture, which was like a really cool concept. But again, like I think they were chairs. So like buying one and then having like a chair show up was like really interesting because it's like, do I put it on the patio? Do I put it in a place where nobody sits on it? But there was a fully on-chain generative representation for this. So those physicals are awesome. I think, and by the way, I don't know if you remember, but Canvas bought like $100,000 or roughly like MP Cause piece a couple weeks ago that everybody was like enamored with.
I didn't see
I don't
that,
think that's not a coincidence, in my opinion, that it happened to come out right before this announcement. But what it did is it generated this buzz, and to me, it was an affirmation that this MP Cause is like capable of doing some like really amazing physical stuff. And if you have had any time to talk to him, like Michael thinks very dynamically about art. So, and he's I believe an engineering student from USC, or I know he got like maybe an art student from USC, but you know, it's been one of his passions. I think it was engineering, which is part of the reason why that physical was so like dynamic. And it's amazing to be able to see like the link between the digital and physical, because he's a very talented digital artist. For those who are not familiar, Chimera is his like his ArtBlocks project, and then there's one that I love called Metropolis. And full disclosure, I just bought a bunch of them in anticipation of like him getting more attention. But the Metropolis stuff is actually fairly accessible. I think right now it's at like 0.3 ETH.
Oh wow!
But you saw bats going by, bump up the floor or jump the floor for a Chimera. And what's cool about these is like this was done with Bright Moments, and I think there's like 5 minting cities. So like each city had a certain amount, and then you got like a partner or like a companion piece. I can't remember if you had to mint it or it was free, but there's a really interesting dynamic happening. You can see it in the listings. People are buying the partner pieces, but because there's this like speculative nature right now on his work, people are just buying up the floor. And some of these partner pieces are now starting to get divorced, myself included, right? Like I have a bunch of pieces and none of them match. But there's a couple close to the floor that wasn't the floor 3 days ago that are partner pieces. And I'm curious to see like how people how they decide to honor that, or if it's just purely speculative given the ArtBlocks nature, or if they really honor the art of having those two companion pieces. And they distinctly go together. Like you can kind of see them on the right, like there's almost a mirror. So when you put them together, like it looks like a true diptych. It's different enough, but like close enough that you intuitively think of it.
I bet you could put together a cool little set of them too, where they are mismatched, but they just go together in a really interesting way. I bet there's so much fun you could have with this collection, or the two. Oh man, really cool. Really, really cool. By the way, I don't know if it's just does he look a lot like Fuck Render with a hat on, especially?
A little bit, yeah.
Maybe it's just a beard. I don't know. There's a resemblance there. That is beautiful. I just like the dynamics. 20 of those, man. It's like it doesn't matter how bad you want one. You better make a pretty.
Can you bring up
strong
the post again? I think that one of the things I really wanted to highlight there that was very fascinating to me is, and most people aren't talking about this, but there's two pieces that I think were defined as mural pieces that will go through private placement. So this is the thing that I am really fascinated with. So there's like wall sculptures, there's the lamps, but somewhere in the announcement, it kind of like, and there's like, and there's two that are going to be private placements. And that was really and I thought they said mural sized, which was like really mind blowing to me. That like, yes,
that bigger. I can read that off here. There will also be an opportunity to purchase 2 Boken wall mural size sculptures, 64 by 31 by 2 through private sale. So is that these, or that's different?
I don't know. That's what's kind of like makes you kind of go, oh, interesting. So even within the physical, there's like levels to it, and I think that's what's really intriguing to me about this is, I mean, honestly, at 8NAP Art, we've been leaning into this concept of physicals. That's why we did the physical books for the giveaway, the magazine. I think that like people resonate with this, right? And what's really cool is like it's one thing to have like the digital, NFT, but then like this other level of exclusivity. And I think it plays well into onboarding people who are going to like display it. It probably function maybe a foot in each realm of a physical and traditional or digital art. But what's really intriguing to me is, and look, I don't know what these things are going to go for, but my guess is it's going to be a stupid amount of money, right?
This is why the comment about the market. This is a defining moment for the market, and I think kicks off the NFT cycle.
Yeah,
is the guess here.
And so, but what's my point being is that like whatever, let's say it's a $10,000 lamp, and it's unique enough, right? Like it kind of gives you like the Tiffany lamp vibes, with the stained glass, but not really. It's like distinctly MP cause. It's dope in its own right. And I think that like when these are going to be present, it's going to ask other people like, hey, what is this? Right. And again, my thing is like the art world doesn't explode tomorrow. I think like we're going to see an art price accumulation just because of the speculative nature of crypto and Web3 in the near future. But to me, this is about like the onboarding of more people, or at least creating a piece that goes, what is that? Why is that? Who is that? And it's, oh, that's interesting. How do I get one? Oh, you can't? Oh, they don't make these? There's only 20? Like that to me becomes a very interesting dynamic on a longer timeline. And even in the Medici Minutes last Friday, I think he spoke about this one particular edition of 6 that like 5 pieces are in museums, and there's essentially one that's in the free market, and some billionaire paid a stupid amount of money for it. I think that you're going to see like dynamics like this play out for pieces like this, right? Where it's like, oh, okay, like I need a tax deduction. Somebody donates one to a museum, and all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, there's only 20 of them. They're unique, and again, assuming MP Cause, and by the way, I will say MP Cause is brilliant in my opinion. I think he's one of the more underrated artists, in addition to like he's probably on the in my opinion, there's like 5 artists or so that like came after ArtBlocks Summer last year, but is are ridiculously talented, and they're like day in the sun are going to come. And I think MP Cause is one of them. And I don't know anybody who hasn't encountered MP Cause, Michael, and like either fallen in love with him, fall in love with his art, fall in love with his passion. Like the kid just has something special, right? Like, you know, like when you can't define something. So I think that this is like giving the opportunity for that something special to occur. Now that I've like gloated about MP Cause and ArtBlocks, I will say the one thing that's like curious to me is like, how does this become replicatable, right? And I think that you're starting to see, again, not to say like 8-nap art is the way, but like highly curated and concentrated like great art coming at less frequency. Like, because before ArtBlocks was like curated. And now with this physical component, I'm curious to see like what the play is for their frequency of release. Because I mean, let's call a spade. That takes a lot of time, effort, and thought to get to that point, right? So I sent you this article, and it's more about like this is a segueing off of the concept of the psychology, right? Like if you go expand the thread, the post and go down, it talks about how this gentleman who we talked about last week, actually, he sold this with Sotheby's, but now he's doing his own independent auction. He's doing that Autoglyph 30, right? But it talks about like how he created this PvP, like instead of, there's a lot of like underlying psychology. He created this PvP amongst billionaires, and like 2 billionaires wanted it. Obviously, the Saudi prince is the one who got it, but like it was really like just bidding between two billionaires, or I assume are billionaires, because if you're gonna spend 400 million on something, you gotta have a lot of disposable income. But the point being is like, then there's like little things like the psychology of like, instead of like posting it in the gallery, like he brought it to like billionaires and like put it in their home so they could envision the piece being there. He sold like what it could be, not what it is. Like just like you read through the details. I read it last night and I was like, yo, this is the way to be able to engage a greater collecting public. So it's a really interesting article if you can get to it. I'll repost it. And
the article is it in the tweet somewhere or totally separate?
Oh no, not an article. Sorry, just the post. But it talks about, yeah.
I'm gonna drop it in the chat.
It's just it's like again. We could sit here and debate, like somebody could debate whether it's authentic or not, which is the real authentic, right? And Lemon, yes, it is a tax deduction. It's also why you see a lot of these, like when somebody passes, why a lot of times their art goes to a museum is because the families, instead of paying taxes, they're able to shift a portion of that to nonprofits, avoid paying taxes, and then they get to keep the houses and the money, and the art goes to museums. So which is a really interesting long-term dynamic of how art moves hands over the course of decades.
Yeah, that's interesting, by the way. I didn't know, like Lemon, that it's a deduction. So, dude, learn something every freaking time.
Well, I will say, it's not like you give art away and it's like a deduction. You have to give it to like a nonprofit, and it has to be like, and you can't just like send it to a museum. It has to be accepted, but right, it has to be accepted by them as part of the permanent collection.
It's not like us idiots sending stuff to these like burn addresses to have this a little different, but
well, that's a whole nother thing. There are some companies out there, I forget the names, that will like pay you 0.00001 ETH for your art, so you actually sell it for a loss, which is a really interesting dynamic there. And then they repurpose it for charitable donations. But yeah, you can do tax loss harvesting that way.
Yeah, man, dig it. All right, guys, I'm gonna do the drawing, but I'm gonna do it after the show. We got to get Jared on his way, so we'll say goodbye. Again, offline, I'll do the drawing for the whitelist here. I'll DM you if you win too. And what else? I think that's it. What do you guys got going on, Jared?
Mid-October, I'm gonna do an edition. So for 8.5 pass holders, it'll be a free. It's Jake Inez, who's an amazing photographer. If you haven't figured him out, good dude, amazing story. Will be a pretty attractive price point. And then I just talked to Corey Haber last night. I'm talking to Red Rum in 4 minutes. And honestly, the red rum, Corey Haber is just mind blowing. You talk about physical, like I don't know if you know him, but like he takes algorithmic art and he has like a customized plotter that he has, and like he prints these things in just like in an insatiable form. Like it's incredible what he does. So again, going back to this physical tie, like we were talking strategies for linking physicals, limiting it, et cetera, which I have some new ideas, just thinking out loud. But we'll have like a physical component to it, and then Red Rum, man, his project is, it's really, really dynamic in the way he's progressed his art, and I'm really excited to have been a part of it. It was supposed to come out in October, but we pushed it because what ended up happening is we pivoted themes. I won't give away his other one, but like the other one was a little bit too constricted for. So now like we're dealing with this theme of like life and the progression of life, and it's just been really fun to see like a new sense of like inspiration from him. And he started like teasing out a couple pieces if you're astute, but yeah. So Delta sauce pieces are on auction. Actually, he just posted like the next 10, and I owe you a copy anyways, but the next 10 auction pieces will get a free one of our physicals, again, the magazine, right? So he'll sign one of the magazines and send it to the auction winner. So this one's under auction. One's gonna get revealed afterwards, but
Man,
yeah, the
this
next
one's
10
awesome.
sales. I love this one. And full disclosure, I'm actually the one bidding on it because I'm giving it to I just hired a new marketing person. So 8nap Art has its own X profile. I just never use it.
Oh, no
But
kidding.
now I have a new marketing team that's going to run I only have it linked, right? Because it was like, it's been stagnant. So I have a new marketing team who's going to help me with the posts there.
Man, real cool.
So follow that. It'll be up and running next week. I'll shout that out, but just a lot of art. I'm super excited for what's coming, not only with 8nap, but with the general art industry. I think the next 6 months is going to be ridiculously exciting.
Dude, great stuff. So obviously, guys, make sure you're following Jared_pause. Follow us at Crypto Slam. Guys, I'll see you this afternoon, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time for the afternoon show. Jared, thank you, dude, like always. Always great hanging with you. Hope
Yeah,
your
no,
day's
the
awesome.
VR stuff is exciting. We got a little distracted from art, but I think it ties in later on. It's gonna be awesome.
It's all part of the same thing. You're right. You're right. Good stuff, man. Good luck with today with your chat. Guys, we'll catch you next time. Peace.
Brilliant.